everybody. Welcome to episode 101 of Credit 101. Isn't that amazing? Like episode 101 is called Credit 101. I'm just so proud of myself. I was so proud of myself for even doing the 100th episode, but now it's the 101st episode. I am learning my Espanol and it's muy difícil. It's very difficult for me. So please forgive me if I talk crazy, but in this episode and the next episode too, I'm talking about taking money out of tax accounts. Not even just it's tax deferred accounts. You know, maybe you guys have like a 401k, RA. I'm talking about these different accounts. So I made sure that I took some notes on here because this is a very touchy subject. And then the next episode, we're going to talk about, taking money from your house, maybe taking a loan now, or maybe doing a HELOC. So we're going to talk about those different things. And I just made sure that I had a lot of notes on it just to make sure I don't say the wrong things and I don't forget anything too, because these two subjects is very deep to me. Now, when it come down to this episode, we're talking about withdrawing or just borrowing money from those accounts. Now, I always thought about, if you guys was to do like IRA, usually you guys can take out what you put into the IRA without having penalties, but any growth from it, you can't really take it out without being penalized. So I kind of like that, but some people think about their 401k and they think about how can they pay off their debt with these different accounts. Please talk to a professional. I am not that, okay? I'm just being honest. I am not that. I have never taken out money from these accounts. I have taken out money from a house, which I can't talk to you guys about that, about my personal experience. But my thought is, if it's in there, leave it in there. That's honestly what it is, because whatever you take in from your accounts now, you're actually taking it from your future. That's just literally what I'm thinking about. Like, you taking this stuff from your future, because that's what this money's supposed to be for. So understand that if you guys have your IRAs or 401ks or any other tax accounts that's supposed to be deferred in terms of your interest, usually when you withdraw from these accounts, you are going to be penalized. And sometimes if you do it before 59 and a half, which is usually the time that you won't be penalized to take them out, they're going to charge you a 10% early withdrawal penalty. So please keep that in mind. Sometimes you can take a loan out, especially like if you have like your employer, if you have 401k there, because you'll get your employer putting money into there too. Sometimes they're matching it. So if you guys were to have an account like that, usually you could take a loan out. You can basically borrow from it. You could take a loan out. But please, when you guys borrow from these different accounts, please see how much they're going to charge you in terms of interest and find out what those terms are. Because we talked about personal loans and things like that. And I believe we're going to go back into it. I got a whole bunch of videos I'm going to record right now. But we are going to talk a little bit more about certain type of loans that you should avoid. And personal loan is one, but it really is based off of the interest rate. So please make sure that you guys know what the interest rate is going to be, what the penalties are. And you can talk to a tax professional or financial advisor, either or, whichever one you have, to figure out what it's going to be, in terms of taking this money out. But I would suggest, if you guys are going to take the money out, literally just talk to them and say, hey, what is it going to be? How much are going to be penalized for? What can I do to not be penalized? How can I take it? Is there a different way? Because sometimes people take out money from their 401k or the IRA to like buy a house and things like that. So you definitely want to just figure out what that will be like, and just understand that this is technically taken from your future, and you need to know what's the repercussions if you don't pay it back in the time frame you're supposed to pay it back. And I would suggest, if anything, I would ask you guys to borrow from it. I'd rather you borrow from it than to outright just take it out, especially if we're talking about accounts that's supposed to be tax-free, where they're not going to charge you at all. So please understand this information. And again, 59 and a half is really that age. That's like that sweet spot. So that's where you guys are not going to be penalized. But if you guys are past that, if you guys are not nowhere near 59 and a half, understand you are going to be penalized for taking it out. But just ask them, what will my penalties be? Okay. And like I said, borrow if you can, just borrow. But that's kind of everything I want to say on this topic, because I really want you guys to definitely talk to someone about what it would be, what you should do, because I don't want to give out false information on this subject. Okay. But the next subject, which we're going to talk about, home equity loans, home equity line of credit. which is the HELOC. We're going to definitely talk about that. I can personally tell you my experience and different things you want to do and things you want to avoid. But I'll see you guys in the next episode.